Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of writing linear equations. This is standard A.2C in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 35 off the 2016 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we have an organization, has a monthly budget of X dollars, so we don't know. Every month, this amount, $20.70, is spent on salaries, and then 1/4 of the remaining budget is spent on monthly activities. Okay, that's kind of interesting. So I'm just going to kind of create a representation here. So the budget is kind of like this big, right? So that's the big bucket right here. So we're taking money away from this budget because a budget is how much you have to spend, right? So we're going to take away this $2,070, and we know that. So we're going to take our budget, take away that 70, and then we're also going to take away something on, so this is the salaries. So then we have 1/4 of the leftover. After you take away the $20.70 from the budget, whatever's left over, 1/4 of that is going to monthly activities. So how can we best represent this? So in this standard, what we're looking at are verbal descriptions. In this case, it's a written problem, and we're trying to match that to one of these things. So obviously, look at all of these, right? We're dividing by 4. It just depends on what we're doing with that 2070. Are we including it or excluding it? And are we using addition or subtraction? Well, if I were to try to put this in some type of equation here, right? So f of x or y, whatever it is, right? So it's kind of what we're looking at. So we know that we're going to take away the 2070 from my x, right? So that's looking good. Then 1/4 of the remaining budget. So I could do 1/4, but multiplying by 1/4 is the same as dividing by 4. So I think that's where that dividing by 4 is going to come by. So whatever's left over, like the difference, right? Whatever's the difference of this right here, maybe divide by 4. So that's kind of looking like D. But you know what? How do we double check this? Let's put some real money in there. Let's say our budget is x equals, you know what? I want a nice even number. I want, okay, 2570. Now, that's not an even number, but after I subtract the 2070, it's going to leave me with $500. All right, so I've got a monthly budget of 2570. I'm going to take away 2070 for my salaries, so 1/4 of the remaining budget. So what I need to do here is I need to take my 500, that's what's ever left over, that's going to be divided by 4, so that's spent on monthly activities. All right, so if I put in 2570, I've got 125 for monthly activities. So then what we could do is since we can figure that out, we can just put in our 2570 for all of these x's, right? And see which of these works. And you're going to notice here, like look at this, 2570, I don't even know what 2570 divided by 4 is. So that's going to be 6, 17, that's another 4, 16, 10, that's like 642.5. So this is adding 642.5. That's way too big. This is subtracting 642.5. So that's still going to give me about $1,300. No. And then this is taking that and adding the 2070, which is spent on salaries. So that would end up being huge. That'd be 4640 divided by 4, so that'd leave over $1,000. The only one that's going to get me close, look at that D. I'm going to take that 2570, subtract the 2070, leaves me with 500 divided by 4. There's my 125. So my answer is D.